All right, let's get this party started. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Looks like you can. Everything looks good so far. If you can't hear me, let me know, and we'll go from there. All right. So one of the first things we're going to do today on our stream is we're going to actually build a flight plan. What? Yep, that's right. We're going to take this step by step from the very beginning into how a pilot would normally go around with planning his flight plan. The main difference is instead of using something like nav charts and stuff like that they have for official pilots, we are using the flight planner by Flight Simulator. This is the official flight planner for Flight Simulator 2024. It also works with 2020 as well. I'm a big fan of it. It just makes making routes way easier, very simple, very streamlined, and you can actually save your flight plans and load them directly in 2024, or you can export them as well, I believe. And when you export the PLN file, you can upload that into 2020 as well and use that to load your flight plan. What we're going to do is we're just going to basically use it to build our flight plan and use this for reference, so we can then enter it into our Garmin G3000. The first thing we're going to do is we are going to select our aircraft, which is the, not Cessna. I want the citation, CJ4, we're getting there. So we're going to go with a Vision Jet G2. We are going to go with family seating. Performance data is unavailable, so we won't be able to see like how long the flight will be, things like that. All right, so route. So we're going to add our origin, which is going to be Boston. We're going to hit KBOS. Enter. And then we're going to add our destination, which is going to be Bangor, which is KBGR. That's for Bangor, Maine. You can see it right here. Bam. All right. So now we got those done. We can actually select this great auto route button, which creates a nice little route for us and an approach. Look at that. ILS 15Y. Bam. Now these should be the current open runways that are working in both Bangor and in Boston. So we'll double check that though when we get into our airplane. We might want to add a departure. I prefer departures. I went through this before, and I think I prefer, personally, Highland 7. And yeah, that looks good. Oh, wow, I got a bunch of people who've joined. That's great. Good to see you guys. All right. No transition. Select. All right, that's our departure. As you can see, it now updates our flight plan here. We're gonna, whoa. So basically, yikes. Okay. So basically what this is telling us is we are departing from KBOS, from Boston Logan International. We're gonna take the Highland 7 departure. We're gonna exit that at the waypoint of Highland. From there, we're gonna go direct to Pease. Then from Pease, we're gonna go direct to ENE. And from ENE, that's gonna be where we enter T295. Airway T295. We're going to exit Airway 2T95 through the waypoint of BGR, which is actually Bangor Airport. And from there, we are going to go direct to KBGR. We are going to go take the ILS 15 approach. Here it is, ILS 15Y approach. It looks like we are doing vectors. 15Y, yeah, none. They're probably going to have us do BGR as our approach, though, so we'll might as well just select it now. Okay. And now we can see that here. Perfect. All right, it's going to be an IFR flight plan, so all this is perfect. So these are just the small things that we need to remember. Again, we're going to be taking off from 33 left in Boston. We are going to be taking a Highland 7 departure. We're going to then go direct to Pease on our en route. And then we're going to go direct to ENE on our en route, which will be our entryway into Airway T295. We're going to exit Airway T295 with waypoint BGR, and we are going to take ILS 15Y with a BGR transition. All right, so now we know all of that. We can save that, write all of that down, and we can add that to our flight. We can add that into our Garmin G3000 when we load the game. Now let's get the game going. I apologize for not having the game preloaded for you guys, but unfortunately, it's kind of a pain in the butt to go back and forth in 2020 when you have the Cirrus jet. For some reason, it keeps screwing up my save data, and I have to eventually erase everything and restart all my logbook and everything completely erased. Everything gets erased. It's very annoying. So this is unfortunately what I have to do. Coffee break. Don't be shy, everybody. Don't be afraid to say hi in the chat. I'm more than happy. I love to talk. I'm more than happy to chat your ears off. If you guys have any suggestions for some viewer request flights, let me know. We can fly from any airport, land at any airport. We can drop a helicopter in front of your house if you want. We can do historic flights. We can fly around the pyramids. We can go around Statue of Liberty. Wherever you want to fly. Just let us know. Drop it in chat. Again, sorry for having to load up the game like this. Very annoying. I agree. Right to Flight Simulator. Tell them to fix this corrupt save game data issue. All right. So, start our flight. We're just going to load ourselves into... Whoa, here we are. Into Logan International. We're going to set that as our departure. And we're going to pick a parking spot. I'm just going to scroll way down here because they're always down here at the bottom. 68, I believe, is where they had us park when we landed, so might as well start there again. Let's make sure that we're got everybody live. Perfect. Live weather, live flights, live traffic, live simmers. That's what I like to see. If you guys like what you see, you like what you hear, please consider sending us a gift if you don't mind. Any amount counts, even 50 cents is a great amount to help us. We're just trying to keep music on our streams. That's it. We're not trying to get rich. So like literally pennies count. And it's cheap too. I think it's like $11 a month. But yeah, we're not looking for, our goal's not a lot here. Oh my god, this takes forever. Turn the music down just a little bit. I can probably turn it back up. It won't really matter because my voice will turn it down anyways. All right, we are ready for a cold start. So first thing we're going to do, pull up our vans, turn on our batteries real quick. Switch over to our MFD. From here, we're going to go to Utilities. We are going to then go to Checklist and Before Engine Start. Make sure it's actually in view for you guys. I keep forgetting that my camera blocks this stuff. I'm new to streaming, you know. It takes a minute. All right. Let's go through this checklist. We have pre-flight inspection. That's been complete. Oh, actually, that hasn't been complete. Let's do that real quick. So technically what that would be is we would walk around the plane. We would remove things like this engine cover right here, this pit top cover down here. Get a better look at it here. There you go. Like this pit top cover, these chocks, things like that. So we can do that here in the VAMs by going to statics, removing our chocks. You would do other things too, like you would check your fuel, make sure there's no water in it. You would also like check your oil levels, things like that. But this is a sim, so they keep it simple. I also turn off this registration shadow because if you see my keep it on, see that? It does this weird glitchy thing. I'm not a big fan of. So you can see the other, might be able to see it better on this side. Yeah. It just kind of glitches out. I'm not a big fan of it, so I just turn that off. All right. So now that that's done, we can consider that our pre-flight inspection. Check. Doors are latched. Parking brake is on. battery 1 and 2 switches are on. Gen 1 and 2 switches. Whoops. 1, 2, check. External GPU, that's FAMs. All right, that's now on. Check. Active FEDDEC channel is displayed below percent thrust indicator. FDEC channel A, so that's a check. Strobe lights go on. Those are battery alternating strobes on. Check. Cast messages check. I see parking brake, external power connected. That's what we want to see. Those are good. Thrust lever idle, that's good. Brakes are being held. Engine knob to run. This guy here. Make sure fuel pump on, cast measures is on. You can even hear it. So check. Fuel pump check. Verify engine start bat temp and engine start volts cast message is not displayed. They are not. So check. Engine button press. Okay, so we can start our engines. Alright, engines are up and running. Check. Alright, engine instruments. Just want to make sure that this guy was positive before he hit 25, which it definitely was by what I'm seeing. Just make sure that everybody here is showing mostly normal stats here. That's normal because that went to max until we turned off our GPU. Now it's normalizing. Okay. Both of those are good. ECS control panel set. We don't really have access to that. That disconnected itself. Oxygen master switch on. Check. All right, avionics initialization. So that is down here in our MFD. Utilities, initialization. So first we're going to do some quick system checks.
Fire.
Now that's just the pre-flight test.
Fire. Stall.
As is that.
Stall.
Alright, those are both good. We're going to sync our fuel fob. It syncs with the computer so the computer knows how much fuel we have now before takeoff. You can calculate remaining fuel on each leg. Our weights and balance are pre-configured for myself, a co-pilot, and some luggage. And now we can do the fun part, which is enter our flight plan. So we're going to add our origin, which is KBOS. We're going to go to procedures because we know we want a Highland 7 departure. And, ooh, what was that? I think it was 22 left is where we were coming out of, right? Anyone remember? You know what? We can find out by going to ATIS. Any minute now, ATIS. No? Ooh, that's interesting. There we go. That was weird.
Wind 254 at 15. Visibility 10. Sky condition.
ATC's glitching out.
Few clouds at 4,400 feet. Few clouds at 13,000 feet. Temperature 3. Dew point 10. Altimeter 29.86. ILS runway 27 in use. Landing and departing runway 27. VFR aircraft.
So 27, is that what I heard?
Advise controller on initial contact. You have Echo.
Okay.
Boston Airport information. Echo 1700 Zulu. Wind 254 at 15. Visibility 10.
All right. So that's what we're going to do there.
Few clouds at 3,000 feet. Few clouds at 4,000
Load that up.
feet. Few clouds at 13,000 feet. Temperature 3. Dew point 1.
Perfect. So now we're going to add our destination, which is going to be
Runway
KBGR.
landing and departing
That's for
runway 27.
Bangor Maine International. Bangor International. Bangor Municipal, actually, I think. Oh, it is Bangor International. Okay.
Advise controller on initial contact. You have Echo.
All right. So
Airport information. Echo 170.
now we can go back to procedures.
Wind 254 at 15.
Choose our arrival,
Visibility 10.
which doesn't look like there are any, which is fine because I don't think we had one anyway, so that makes sense.
400
Oh,
feet.
you know what? I'm getting ahead of myself. So we actually want to go to en route,
3.
right? Because the first thing we had to do was we had to enter our next thing on our checklist here is to P's.
Runway 27 in use.
Direct to P's.
Departing runway 27.
That was in our flight plan.
Aircraft say direction of flight.
We can see it's in Northeast USA, so that's correct.
Instructions. Advise controller on initial contact.
Excuse me.
You have Echo.
And then we are going to add another en route waypoint, which is ENE.
Echo 1700 Zulu. Wind 254 at 15.
And that's again northeast.
10.
So now this is where we're going to enter that airway,
1,000 feet. Few clouds at 4,000.
which is T295.
13,000
We entry at ENE, and we exit
point 10. Altimeter 29.86. ILS runway 27 in use.
BGR.
Landing and departing.
Load airway, and it loads all that for us.
Direction of flight. All aircraft read back.
So we can uncollapse that.
Advise controller.
You can see that it adds all those waypoints for us automatically, which is very nice.
Information. Echo 17.
And then we can go again to procedures,
254 at 1.
select our approach,
Visibility.
which is going to be LOS Y15. It's exactly what was in our flight plan that we chose.
4,000
The only difference is we are going to do a BGR transition, and that's only because we know they're going to ask us for that anyways.
Altimeter 29.0.
If we did vectors, that's the vectors they would probably tell us. So might as well just choose it now.
Departing runway 27. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft
Okay, so we can turn this off. I'm sorry, this is probably really annoying to listen to.
on initial contact.
Let's go to clearance. Okay, so now that we have our flight plan all set, a couple things we're going to do real quick is this in our approach. You can see we have an IAF and an FAF. That's basically the beginning and end of what this is considering our final descent. So for both of those, we are going to add first a speed constraint of 150 knots. That slows us down enough to be able to drop our flaps and lower landing gear.
Ready to copy. 1972 is clear to Kilo.
And then here at our final, we are going to actually add another one for about 100 knots. And that should fight any wind we run into, but be slow enough to get us to land pretty safely.
105.
All right, now that that's done, we can accept initialization. And that part of our checklist is done.
Tier 1 972 cleared to Kilo Bravo Hotel Bravo Airport is filed. Takeoff runway 27 climb and maintain 7,000 feet. Departure on 133.0 squawk 5.
Just trying to have a good view here for you guys.
Tier 1 972 read back correct.
Maybe something like that. There we go.
4
Oh, God, I didn't mean to do that. All right, go back to clearance, please, for now. And then we're going to minimize that. All right, so that's done. Caps pins have been removed. Passengers have been briefed because we don't have any. Seatbelts are secure. Bleed switch, which is this guy here, is on bleed. Common nav is set. We know this because it happens automatically when we enter our flight plan. Now we can ask for clearance, IFR.
Boston clearance delivery vibes Victor Victor 002 IFR to Bangor ready to copy.
Vibes Victor Victor 002 is cleared to Bangor Airport as filed.
Takeoff runway 27 climb and maintain 9,000 feet. Departure frequency is 133.0 squawk 1367.
5's Victor Victor 002 cleared to Bangor.
Okay, so 9,000 feet's our
Takeoff
altitude.
runway 27
We're gonna
climb
enter
and
that now
maintain
before we
9,000
forget.
feet. Departure on 133.0 squawk 1367.
5's Victor Victor 002 read back correct. Contact ground on 121.9er. Good day.
Okay, ground on 121.9er.
Boston clearance delivery American 247 heavy ready to copy.
All right,
Clearance to Los Angeles.
that's done. Altimeter set check.
Los Angeles Airport is filed.
What did they say the altimeter was?
Climb and maintain 9,000 feet. Departure frequency is 127.2 squawk 0072. Boston clearance delivery Flexjet 327 heavy.
What does they just say?
Boston Airport information Echo 1700 Zulu. Wind 254 at 15. Visibility 10. Sky condition. Few clouds at 3,000 feet. Few clouds at 4,400 feet. Few clouds at 13,000 feet. Temperature 3. Dew point 10. Altimeter 29.86.
29er86.
Landing and departing runway 27.
Okay. So now we can go back to ground at one, or actually probably just tune to Boston ground on 1219 and get our taxi clearance.
Boston ground 5's Victor Victor 002 with Echo ready to taxi IFR.
Because these are done, heading's done, flight controls are free and correct, trim is at 6%, you can see that down here.
Cross runway 4 left Foxtrot cross
Oops.
runway 22 left Foxtrot.
Flaps are going to be down to 50%, so they're coming down now.
3 left
That should turn green any second, there we go.
on 128.8 when ready.
We're going to, our roll trim is set, our to go button has just been pressed. Yep, you can see that here. Or takeoff, I should say, takeoff go around button. I don't know why I always say to go. I don't know why I'd always do that. It's takeoff go around.
Boston ground American.
All right, so that's done.
Be requesting the end of pushback.
Cast messages are checked, are good. Seats are in normal and upright position. Parking brake is now released. That's check.
Boston ground
Oops.
Flexjet 32
Go back up there, recheck that.
taxi IFR.
Okay.
Flexjet 32
All right, so now we're going to taxi.
hold short of runway 27 using
So we're going to turn around real quick.
Foxtrot cross runway 4 left Foxtrot cross runway 22 left Foxtrot cross runway 33 left Golf Charlie Delta.
We could have asked probably for a pushback, but this guy turns really nicely, so it's not really necessary. We got lots of room.
Boston ground American 2473 heavy with Echo ready to taxi IFR. American 2473 heavy taxi to and hold short of runway
All right.
using taxiway Kilo Echo
Slow it down a little bit here. At least get our engine power down, I should say.
Delta cross runway 33 left Delta. Contact tower on 128.8 when ready.
All right, so we can also go to Bose here and put on our headphones, get those out of our eyesight. You even activate noise reduction, which makes the engine sound inside the cockpit way, way lower.
4 left Echo Papa Delta cross runway 4 right Delta cross runway 33 left Delta American 2473 heavy.
Nope, I never acknowledged taxi clearance. Whoops.
2473 heavy hold position caution other traffic. Taxiing hold short runway 27 via taxiway Alpha Zulu Bravo Foxtrot cross runway 4 left Foxtrot cross runway 22 left Foxtrot cross runway 33 left Golf Charlie Delta cross runway 33 left Delta Flexjet 327 heavy. Hold position American 2473 heavy.
Taxi to and hold short runway.
Haha, got it in there.
Taxiway.
Finally.
Zulu Bravo Foxtrot cross runway 4 left Foxtrot cross runway 22 left Foxtrot cross runway 33 left Golf Charlie Delta cross.
Sorry if I'm missing anything in chat. This part of the flight is always very attention I don't know what to call it. Just it really needs your attention. So if I'm missing anything, I apologize. Soon I'll be able to jump in with you guys. once we get this baby into cruise. I always love my little tiny Vision jet pulling up behind these massive jumbo jets. It's kind of comical. It very much makes you feel like we should not belong. We just do not belong here. We should have picked a smaller airport. But I like to show you guys these big airports. They're nice. They're pretty. And you get to see these nice, pretty, large aircraft. Especially if you're the type that likes to runway watch at your local airport. So I'm just managing my speed here and just keeping this right here below 21 knots. Usually somewhere between 15 and 18 is my sweet spot. Maybe 19. Okay, we are crossing. Just want to make sure this was on our hold short. Alright, so that 9,000 feet they asked us to climb to probably won't be our cruising altitude, but it'd probably be a step up to our cruising altitude. Usually in real life they'd say something like climb to 9,000, expect 16,000, something like that, you know, in 5 minutes, something like that. But I don't think they have that in 2020. So you kind of just get stepped up one step by step. You just don't know what your next step is. A little fast there. Question is if we're going to be lined up behind these guys or not. Sometimes they line us up behind them, sometimes they push us in front of them. We'll find out what they want us to do. looks like we're getting close. All right, we'll watch JAL7 take off here. Sorry, I had to make sure I wasn't crashing into anything. All right. So I'm going to line up behind this guy. Well, they're in tuna tower. Request takeoff clearance.
Boston Tower 5's Victor Victor 002 at runway 27 ready for departure IFR to Bangalore.
5's Victor Victor 002, hold short runway 27. Traffic is generic on the runway.
Hold short runway 275's Victor Victor 002.
Flexjet 327 Heavy, line up and wait. Brickyard 4721, contact Boston departure on 133.0. Good day.
All right, we'll pull up to the hold short.
Wait, Flexjet 327 Heavy. Boston Tower Care 109er 13 miles east inbound ILS runway 27 approach. Flexjet 327 Heavy, altimeter 29er decimal 861254 at 15. Cleared for takeoff runway 27. Care 109er Boston Tower. Altimeter 29er decimal 861254 at 15. Cleared ILS runway 27 approach.
All right, let's make sure we've got our pit top heat on.
Blue 1070 Heavy, follow the aircraft on 5.
Landing lights are on.
254 at 15. Cleared to land runway 27.
All right, let's make sure we go through our checklist real quick.
002, line up and wait.
All right, that's for us to get off. Time for us to take off.
ILS runway 27 approach care 109er. Cleared to land runway 27 JetBlue 1070 Heavy.
Line up and wait 5's Victor Victor 002.
Flights Victor Victor 002, altimeter 29er decimal 861254 at 15. Cleared for takeoff runway 27.
All right, cleared for takeoff. We're just gonna make sure our engine and our wing de-ice is on. We're gonna acknowledge our clearance.
13 miles east
We're gonna take off.
27 approach. Delta 855 Boston Tower. Altimeter 29er decimal 861254 at 15. Cleared ILS runway 27 approach. Cleared ILS runway
Okay, we are in the air.
855.
Need a little bit more right rudder there.
Boston Tower Mountain 89er 76 at runway 27 ready for departure IFR to Newark.
Approach 5's Victor Victor 002 is Type Vision Jet SF
Autopilot's on.
Boston 400 feet.
FLC is on. Flight level change is on. Nav mode is on. Flaps are up. Gear is up.
002 approach. Squawk 0563.
And here we come over Boston.
Squawk 056 tree 5's Victor Victor 002.
5 Victor Victor 002 radar
Not sure why we had to get new IFR clearance there, but here we go.
Readback correct. Radar contact 3,700 feet. Altimeter 29.86. Continue to BRNNS turning and following heading 035 Brazil on navigation climb and maintain 11,000 feet.
Alright, we're going to need to climb and maintain 11,000 feet. I'll enter that here in a minute. It's going to give you guys a little bit longer review here at Boston.
5 Victor Victor 002. Contact Boston departure on 133.0. Good day.
Going to 133.05, Victor Victor 002. Boston departure 5, Victor Victor 002 is passing 5,900 feet, climbing 11,000 feet.
5 Victor Victor 002. Boston.
Okay.
Altimeter 29.86. Radar contact. Continue to BRNNS.
Now climbing to 11,000 feet. 2986 is good. We're good to go. Alright, at this point, autopilot pretty much has control of the plane. She's climbing us up to our chosen altitude of 11,000 feet. And we are currently following GPS, which is this line here, in our flight plan. It's taking us from one waypoint to another. Get rid of our checklist now. Open up our map in full mode. We're pretty much cruising. Auto throttle's on, correct? Yes. Okay. Yeah, we're pretty much cruising. Again, if you're watching, please feel free to drop a viewer request in the chat. We can fly anywhere in the world you want to fly. We can fly from any airport. We can fly around your hometown. We don't even have to use a Vision Jet. We can use smaller planes and we get nice and low to the ground. You guys can get a real good look of your town. We can drop a helicopter in front of your house. We can view some great national monuments like the Statue of Liberty or pyramids. You know, whatever you guys want to do. Just drop requests in the chat and we'll add it to the list. It'll give us a little bit of a mix in between all these around the world flights. Because let me tell you, there's gonna be a lot of them. I think there's we got like 50 some odd planned.
Boston Center 5, Victor Victor 002 is passing.
All right, so as you can see, we're climbing through some clouds here. The temperature is below 10 degrees Celsius, so we probably are going to get a little bit of icing. Yep, you can see that happening on our windshield, so we're going to take care of that. Boom. And then once we get out of this cloud layer, we can probably turn off wing and both wing and I'm sorry, windshield de-ice. This song's a little too classical for me. What about you guys? All right, I think we are at our cruising altitude of 11,000 feet. So probably might keep on our anti-ice just because we're not really fully out of this cloud layer. We're still kind of in it. So it might be safe just to keep those on for now.
Exit 856 traffic is 2 o'clock 4 miles at 10,400 feet Vision Jet SF-50. Report them in sight.
I see them.
56 climb and maintain
They're
7,000 feet.
very much not in our way. We should be all good.
5's Victor Victor 002 have the traffic.
Climb and maintain 17,000 feet. Exit 856. Exit 856 have the traffic.
Well, that's what overcast on this flight. It looks like we had both overcast in Boston and in Bangor, so lots of clouds on this flight.
Victor Victor 002 traffic is 2 o'clock 4 miles at 10,900 feet. Airbus A20N. Report them in sight. American 247 heavy traffic is 3 o'clock 4 miles at 10,400 feet. Vision Jet SF50. Report them in sight.
5's Victor Victor 002 have the Airbus A20N in sight.
American 247 heavy have the traffic.
All right. So we're basically just cruising now to Bangor. Hey, thanks for liking the live, E-Trainer. Appreciate it.
Boston Center generic November 1865 Charlie 2,000 feet. Generic November 1865 Charlie Boston Center altimeter 29.84 radar contact continue. Boston Center generic November 46 November Echo is passing 800 feet climbing 9,000 feet.
Okay, so I make sure they weren't chatting at us.
5 Charlie contact Boston approach on 124.4. Good day. Exit 856 climb and maintain flight level 250. Generic November 46 November Echo Boston Center altimeter 29.84 radar contact continue. Climb and maintain flight level 250 exit 856.
Alright, I'm going to go off camera just for a second. Be right back. Enjoy the sights, enjoy the sounds.
124.4 generic 65 Charlie. Goodbye.
Helps if I turn my microphone back on. Luckily, you guys didn't miss anything. I was just telling you that I'm back. Just had to take a quick off-camera break, get my coffee refilled, reheated, all that good stuff. The important things in life, you know? Priorities. I like this song. I'm going to make sure I get to add it to our liked playlist. All right. Yeah, they got us smack dab in the center of this cloud layer. Considering asking for altitude increase here. Just for your guys' sake. If you're just tuning in, this is our third episode of our Around the World series. We're flying from Boston, Massachusetts to Bangor, Maine. Believe it's about 200 or so nanomiles in flight. If you were to fly it directly as the crow flies. Our flight's a little bit longer due to our flight plan. But we should be getting pretty close here. All right, it looks like we are on our way to enter our T295 airway. In about 24 minutes or so to the top of our descent. We got some time. Drop it in the chat, guys. What do you think? Should we ask for altitude increase? Should we get above these clouds? Should we get below these clouds? Stay where we are? You tell me. What do you guys want me to do? E-Trainer, you're back. Hey, thanks for liking the live earlier. Appreciate it. Appreciate all sorts of support. Especially likes. We just appreciate you being here for real. All right, we believe we are somewhere over Vermont, or maybe even the tail end of Maine there. Perfect. Everything looks good. Our instruments all look good. Auto throttle's doing its job. Not a bad day for flying, really.
1 miles west. Climb and maintain 11,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 29er approach via Echo November Echo transition. Cleared to Echo November Echo.
Just making sure they weren't chatting at us.
Climb and maintain 11,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 29er approach via Echo November Echo transition. Cleared to Echo November Echo generic 1 Juliet Charlie. Generic 1 Juliet Charlie, contact Boston Center on 118.55. Good day.
If you're watching, you like what you see, you like what you hear, please consider following us. We do have a follower goal we're trying to reach today. Trying to get to 20, if possible.
Generic 1 Juliet Charlie.
We always appreciate any and all support. So if you like what you see, you're having a good time, please feel free to follow. Get the notifications for the rest of our flights. Follow us on the rest of our journey around the world. This is just normal, yeah. So this is not career. Unfortunately, this is 2020. Believe it or not, I just find 2020 runs so much better. I like rage quit 2024 the other day because it was just such a choppy, stuttering mess on the Xbox X. So this is actually 2020. So this is just a regular, normal flight. This is just us doing like a around the world series. We're basically flying. We started our first flight in Rochester, New York, and are flying all the way around the world, hoping to land back in Rochester at the end of the tour. And this is our third flight in the series, and we are basically just kind of getting to the end point of our North American leg of the tour, I should say. Thanks for asking, though.
5 Victor Victor 002, you are 9 or 5 miles southwest. Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect ILS Yankee runway 15 approach.
Hey, E-Trainer, thanks for following. Appreciate it. Welcome to the party.
Boston Center generic November 511 Juliet Charlie is at 4,100 feet, climbing 11,000 feet. Generic November 511 Juliet Charlie, Boston Center altimeter 29er.77 radar contact. Continue to zap.
If you're watching on Twitch and are confused about what we're talking about, I'm also live currently on TikTok as well. Looks like we finally, that cloud layer just got just above us nicely. ATC was chatting there while I was talking. Yeah, I had a feeling.
Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect ILS Yankee runway 15 approach via Bravo Golf Romeo transition. Clear to Bravo Golf Romeo 5's Victor Victor 002.
All right, so even though we've only entered just begun our airway here, we are technically cleared to begin our approach at BGR. So we could, if we really wanted to, we could go to our flight plan. And, we'll do it just because this is technically what you should do when they tell you that. We're just going to select BGRs and basically direct to. And that's going to start our approach, basically take us straight to our approach. Okay, just make sure they didn't tell us to descend. Looks like we're good. I do also fly in 2024 and do career mode. I do have another series that I'm doing, which is basically a grind to try and get uh, the citation CJ4, so that way we can get a lot more money, hopefully, by doing VIP charter flights. We'll start that up again soon. I've just been kind of living in 2020 for a little bit, just trying to get used to it again. I'm trying to divorce myself from Game Pass since they did that crazy, ridiculous, what is it there? That price increase. I just can't stay with them much longer. So I'm either gonna have to buy. I bought 2020 a while ago, so I'm probably gonna buy 2024 here pretty soon, so we can continue that series. But yeah, that's the only reason why I haven't done it in a while. I'm just kind of mad at Game Pass. And I bought this Vision Jet here in 2020 a couple of weeks ago, I want to say. And I want to say it's the exact same version they have in 2024, just the earlier version. It's made by the same people. I want to say that made the 2024 version. There's some slight differences, but not much. We do also do viewer request flights. So if you have somewhere you want to fly to or want us to fly to, just let us know. Drop it in the chat. We can fly anywhere in the world you want. Fly around your hometown. Fly around your local airport. Drop a helicopter in front of your house. Just let us know. Just under that cloud there. Double check in the chat real quick. Just had to fix my monitor there, sorry. Oh, it looks like we're getting hit by some wind there. Yeah, we got a 53 knot tailwind. ATC's been very quiet, that makes me nervous. Oh, no, we're not in trouble. Look at that. Alrighty. See how we're doing here. So looks like we should be reaching BGR in about 5.5 minutes. Yeah, about 7 minutes to our top of descent, which we're not using VNAV, so that doesn't really mean much to us, but it kind of lets us know that we're getting close to a descent profile at least. Oh, I do see a hold here in our flight plan that we don't need. So we're going to actually put that 150 speed constraint here that we added earlier. Get rid of this guy. I didn't realize he was a hold. Just because we don't need that in a sim. You know, like in real life, you'd basically hold that pattern there until they gave you clearance, but they're going to clear us right away. So it just becomes kind of like just becomes a problem, honestly. It gives us more steps than we need to. We have to go in there, hit direct 2 for the next leg, and it just gets annoying. So this way it just streamlines the whole process when they're going to give us the approval anyways. Descend and maintain 3,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 3,000 feet. Vibes. Victor Victor 002. 124.55 Victor Victor 002. Goodbye. Bangor approach 5's Victor Victor 002 is at 9,300 feet, descending 3,000 feet.
5's Victor Victor 002 Bangor approach altimeter 29.71 radar contact. Continue to Bravo Golf Romeo.
Bravo Golf Romeo.
Bangor approach 5's Victor Victor 002 requesting vector to next.
Whoops, that was my mistake.
5's Victor Victor 002 continue to Bravo Golf
Excuse me.
Romeo, turning and following heading 060.
Continue to Bravo Golf Romeo turning and following heading 0605's Victor Victor 002.
All right, so we are getting down to our necessary altitude here for our ILS approach. If you look closely here, you'll see that we have a 3,000 foot altimeter limit when we get to our top of descent here, which is I don't know why it's not showing up, but that's our top of descent, which is IKEXE, and that's necessary for the localizer to reach our computer system and basically be able to lock onto basically to allow our plane to lock onto that localizer system and guide us into the runway. Now, weather says it's just overcast, but that's in Bangor. It looks like we might be running into some rain here in a second. Although those might be light rays and not sun and not rain. But I have a feeling that's rain. Hey, Patrick Elliott, what's up? Thanks for joining us. All right, looks like we are hitting our first speed constraint here, 200 knots. That is, that's not us. That's not something that we entered. That is part of the local law, is my guess, to reduce noise. Everything looks good. All right. Once we pass BGR, or intercept here, that will be the beginning of our approach. So basically, once we make this big turn, we'll officially be in our approach and our descent. Yeah, it looks like we're definitely hitting some rain. Our weather bugs lied to us. How dare they? Maybe we're still a ways outside of Bangor. Maybe that's a difference. I'm just going to take a quick look at our flight plan here just to see what these last few legs look like. Trying to see, do we turn around or are we just coming straight in? Okay, we are going to turn around. Okay. That's what I wanted to know. All right. So once we make that final turn, I'll probably then deploy flaps around that time, as well as gear. Then we'll also trigger approach hold, at least arm it on our GS or our Garmin G3000. That'll basically tell the computer that when we get close enough to the localizer, we want you to grab that baby. We want to lock onto it. We want to use that to bring us in. We want to get rid of GPS. It's basically just arming it to basically let the computer know, hey, this is the next plan. I mean, honestly, not a bad day for a flight. Little overcast, but now we're outside of that rain. Which was very quick, by the way. Very quick.
Victor Victor 002, you are 13 miles northwest of Bangor. Contact Bangor Tower on 120.7 when inbound.
Okay.
Tower on 120.75, Victor Victor 002.
Contact tower.
Bangor Tower 5's Victor Victor 00214 miles northwest inbound ILS Yankee runway 15 approach.
5 Victor Victor 002 Bangor Tower. Altimeter 29.71, wind 305 at 9. Cleared ILS Yankee runway 15 approach.
Okay, so we are cleared for approach.
Cleared ILS Yankee
Altimeter is 2971.
5's Victor Victor 002.
Get that set. All right. We're about to make that final turn. Okay, we can put down our first set of flaps. That'll get us down to 140 here. Looks like we might end up landing in that rain, despite what our weather bug here says. That's okay. I stream when my daughter naps, so I always keep checking to make sure I don't hear her. But she seems to be sleeping away. All right. So now that we've made our final turn, I am going to arm approach mode, which you can now see with these two guys that just popped up here, LOC, which is letting us know that it's going to switch from GPS to our localizer. And down here you see GS, which basically means that this glide scope right here is armed and ready to go. So you see this little arrow here, that's actually a diamond. And that diamond will slowly come down and catch us here in the middle. When that happens, okay, see, there we go. That just switched to localizer. So now we're going to line up with the runway. And that's going to basically tell the plane where the runway is and how to get to it. This glide scope is going to tell us how we can make a perfect 3-degree landing scope from here to that runway. And working together, they should pull us nice and gently directly down to the center of that runway. In real life, it does not work that way. If you were to just follow this all the way down to a runway, it would basically smash your plane. However, we will take control at the end and just make it a nice gentle landing as much as we possibly can, depending on weather.
Lindbergh 4460 Bangor Tower. Altimeter 29.71, winds 305 at 9er. Cleared ILS runway 33 approach.
You can see our runway way out there in the distance, with a little blinking light.
Cleared ILS runway 33 approach Lindbergh 4460.
Got a little bit of a tailwind here. It's going to be interesting for landing. We'll just need to make sure that we've got a good enough drag to keep us below 100. Or around 100. So far it looks like we're doing good with just a single set of flaps, so we can probably wait to throw those second set of flaps until right before landing. Okay, our glide scope, as you can see here, has now caught us, and we are starting to descend with it, and it's bringing us down to the runway.
Bangor Tower generic November 901 Lima Life 18 miles northeast inbound ILS runway 33 approach. Generic November 901
I feel like we should be landing on 3-3, but that's okay.
305 at
They're enforcing our flight plan.
ILS runway 33 approach.
Yes, we do have a bit of a tailwind and a crosswind,
Runway 33 approach generic 1 Lima Mike.
but we can make it. We can do this. We can get around the ground.
Five Victor Victor 002 wind 305 at 9er. Cleared to land runway 15.
Okay, that's our official clearing to land. Okay, here we come. Getting closer. Still holding about 100. Near between 100 and 95 around here is pretty good. But I'd prefer 100, as you can see, because it's doing a really good job of helping us fight that wind and keeping us... Basically, as you can see, we're a little cockeyed, but that's just basically it fighting that crosswind so we can actually land straight in the middle of that runway. We'll have to do a little rudder adjustment right before we land, but that's nothing. Okay. Bringing us back into the cockpit, because I'm going to take off autopilot soon. Take control of the airplane. So far, so good. Okay, we're going to turn off autopilot. Okay, my plane. Bring her back down. Oh, we got a little off there. Okay. There we go. Back on track. Alright, cutting power. Last set of flaps are down. Flaring up. A little float there. We are on the ground. Alright. Wasn't the prettiest, but we got there. Fought that wind. Oops, I didn't want that. No. We don't need ATIS. Geez, where's this next taxiway? I think it's right here. Okay. Oh my god, stop doing that.
Victor Victor 002. Goodbye.
Okay, we're going to request taxi to parking.
Bangor ground 5's Victor Victor 002 taxi to parking.
5 Victor Victor 002 taxi to general aviation parking via taxiway Alpha.
All right, we're in knowledge taxi clearance.
Using taxiway Alpha 5's Victor Victor 002.
Get this baby moving. Whoops. I was going a little fast. I was going a little fast. we're not too far away. Ramp 56. Let's remember that for when we take off next time. Alright, going a little bit slower here just to make the transition a little bit easier. Of course, this truck's going to be right our way. Why wouldn't they be? Alright, we're going to turn. Just a little engine power. And boom. Alright, so now that we are nicely parked, parking brake is on. We're going to turn our engine all the way down.
Bangor ground Lindbergh 4460 taxi to the
Flaps are going all the way up.
Lindbergh 44
You can see this here.
to gate 2.
Slowly raising up. Should be green up. This should go green any second now. Boom. Alright, now we can start turning everything off.
Taxi to gate 2 using taxiway Alpha Lindbergh 4460.
Whoops, don't need icing lights on. We need the lights off. There, we're gonna come over here and just turn off engine knob and our engines. And that's the end of the flight, folks. I appreciate you guys for joining us. This was a great time. We had a couple of new followers. Really appreciate you guys. Let's see. Get some likes, some nice views, some chats, some questions. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody who showed up. Appreciate everybody who came in, watched us today. Even if you just came in for a second and bounced out, we still appreciate you. And yeah, catch the VOD. It should be dropping in probably tomorrow, in case you missed it. And yeah, you guys have a great day. We'll see you next time.